gun control in its very core is racist. And the way that this works is you have a lot of guns that are owned by civilians. That's normal. That's the way it should be. I like that. That some people think that they need a gun to protect themselves, because they're right. They do need a gun to protect themselves. There's guns all over the place. They're pretty darn cheap. In fact, I have 2 of them. Yeah, anyone can get a gun, and that means that any criminal can get a gun. And if you want to defend yourself from criminals, you need a gun that's either better or equal to whatever they have, because you don't want to get stuck with a weapon that you can't use to stop a threat. And if your threat has a gun, you should probably have something better than that threat in order to protect yourself, your family, and your property. But the way gun control works is they think that they can make everyone safe by taking away their guns. If you think about who owns the guns in our society, it's not the rich people. Don't own guns. Well, maybe they do, but it's for a sporting purpose. You know, they own, like, you know, the competition, like, you know, 12 gauge shotguns for trap shooting or whatever. Or they go hunting. They go and hunt big game, so they have big, like, hunting rifles. You don't see rich people with tactical weapons. You don't see them with, you know, like concealed carry pistols, because they don't need it. They have, like, guards or something, or they have insurance or something. They can pay for these things, these extra protections that the normal citizen can't pay for. And I'm saying, who is the one who buys the most guns? When you think of a guy with a gun, do you think of a white person, or do you think of minorities? You would probably think of minorities, because that's the image that our society has created. A young minority male or female, or no, not usually female, but like even an older Latino or an older black man or a young black kid. That's who you see in these movies, TV shows. It's what the politicians talk about, the super predators, so-called. Fucking racist, bitch, Hillary Clinton. Anyways, yeah. They're saying, oh, they're super predators. They're gangbangers, you know? Young kids, young, poor minorities. Young, poor minorities with firearms. That's bad. We don't want that in our town. We don't want these dirty niggers and these dirty spicks riding around in our white neighborhoods with pistols, because we're afraid of that. That's the image that the Democratic Party, and to some degree the Republican Party also has portrayed. That's why they have tough on crime. That's why they have the drug war, because their focus is not to keep people safe. It's to keep young poor people from overriding their little neighborhoods. And it does. Well, honestly, it probably has something to do with racism, because who tends to be the people who advocate for these things? It's not Latinos, it's not blacks. You don't see black people out there advocating for gun control, except Barack Obama, but he doesn't really count because he's a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? You don't see black people advocating for gun control. You don't see Latinos advocating for gun control. It's always the whites. And it's usually a Democratic white male. Of all people, huh? That's interesting. All these white males telling us how to keep minorities safe, but all it does is just lock them up in jail. How many times do you see rappers, like black celebrities, like rappers, you know, Chicago rappers, West Coast rappers, they get locked up on weapons charges? Yeah, they get locked up for having weapons on person. That in of itself is a violation of their constitutional right. They don't deserve to go to jail. They don't deserve to be locked up simply because they own weapons. We have a Second Amendment right. We have the right to keep and to bear arms. That means we can own firearms and we can hold firearms. Whether that be concealed or not is up to, I guess they think it's up to the state. I personally don't, but that's the interpretation that's been decided. You can carry concealed or open depending on the state. Here in Oregon, you can carry concealed, and this is a shall issue state, so anyone can carry concealed as long as they have a license. But yeah, no, I don't give, like, I mean, I'm not out here breaking gun laws, but like, I carry my guns in my damn trunk, and they got the ammo right next to them. So I don't care. Like, they can pull up on me. I got M16s, shit pumps, all that shit coming at you. Double out buck, 5.56, 223. What's happening? But anyways, yeah. People who own firearms, they're not white people. White people, you never see, oh, I have a huge gun collection. You're probably not white. You're probably black. And that sounds a little racist, but yeah, I guess it is a little racist. But yeah, I don't know. You see, like, I guess I don't really agree with it then. But at the same time, you see young minorities with guns. That's who you see with guns in the movies and TV shows, and the portrait that our society has painted for us. And that is not exactly how all Latinos think. It's not exactly how all black people are. And the idea that we have to take away their right to self-defense and make them reliant upon our government is stupid. Because they're the ones who need the firearms. They're the ones who need to defend themselves. Like, they're in poorer communities. There's a lot more crime in poorer communities. Wouldn't you think that you should allow them to have some protection? Sorry, they can't afford a home security system like you and pay a $500 a month subscription to some stupid ass security system on your home. Black people can't afford that. You don't see a lot of black people like that who own those security systems. It's always rich, white, elderly folk that advocate for gun control, interestingly enough. The ones who don't need guns want to take them all away. You have Latinos in poor communities where there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of gang violence. And where are these gangs coming from, by the way? You know, they're selling drugs to the communities because they're strangulating business too. They don't want to see these communities grow. They want to keep their communities rich, and they want to keep the minorities in our country, they want to keep them poor. They don't want them to advance. They don't want to see them succeed, because they know if they succeeded, if the minorities in this country had a more fair chance, they would blow anything they could make up out of the proportion. Like, their contribution to our society would be so vast and great that they wouldn't have a job anymore. Basically, they would lose all their money, and that's all they care about is money. That's what this is about. It's not about anything that has to do with our safety. It has nothing to do with our children, which is something they like to drag out all the time. Like, oh, the children. Oh, Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook didn't happen, and I'll make a video about that later. But yeah, like, you know, Columbine shooting. Oh, fucking ban all the guns. Ban the Tech 9s. Ban the AR-15s. What does an AR-15 have specifically about it that's any different from any other rifle? What about it? It's got a 30-round magazine. They make the PS90. That's on the civilian market, but that's not even regulated like these other assault weapons are. This assault weapons. Oh my god. Go look up the video Ghost Gun, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Rich white males telling minorities what to do. That sounds pretty that sounds like segregation to me. That sounds like a lot of racism, you know? We shouldn't be forced to bend to the will of a majority party because we have a different color skin than them. We're just a different ethnicity. We don't deserve to bend to their stupid political crap that all it does is degrade our society. We don't need to do that. We could fight for our rights because we can. It's interesting because this is the United States where we have a constitution. You could totally fight for your rights here because we have a constitution. Other countries, they don't have a constitution. It's a lot harder to fight for their rights. So we're really, really lucky that we even have a constitution that allows us to carry, like, keep and bear arms. And honestly, that's probably the one thing that's keeping us safe right now. If we didn't know that someone was a peaceful person and carrying a firearm, I wouldn't feel safe at all. I don't trust the police. Do you trust the police? Fuck the police. I'll make a video about that later. Fuck the police. I don't give a fuck. The police have never protected me from anything. There's not a single thing that I can think of the police have done for me. At all. There's not a single thing. They haven't protected me from any crime that I've seen. I've seen a lot of crime. You know, this is fucking stupid. How can we trust these guys in suits that have bigger guns than we can own, and we're just going to assume that they're going to be the most friendly people all the time? I don't think so, because there's politicians that swear an oath to this Constitution that want to destroy it. They swear an oath to this Constitution and they turn back on it. Why couldn't anyone else do it? Why couldn't the police do it? They do it. That's the point. They don't care about your rights either. It's all a huge system of degrading the rights of minorities. And that's why gun control is racist.